Hey guys, Tim Russell here from Multipart Finance, and today I want to talk about something which I'm hearing a lot about in the market, which is people's borrowing capacities and how much the banks have changed the way they look at serviceability, and people just can't afford to keep buying properties moving forward. What I'm going to show you is two different banks, how their serviceability calculator works, and the differences that you can see amongst lenders in the market, and hopefully it's going to allow you to have some knowledge about how to continue to purchase more properties moving forward. So let's dive into it. Alright, so to give you some context around these changes the banks have implemented, the big thing that APRA, who's a regulator of the finance industry, saw was this graph. And this graph shows you red owner-occupied properties and grey investment properties. And right here is where they were concerned. In late 2014, more investment properties were being purchased than owner-occupied. Now that is not the makeup of the usual market. This graph goes back to 1997 and always shows that more people buy owner-occupied than investment. So the government said this is an artificial market brought about by low interest rates and overseas investment. We need to take steps to try and normalise the market to where it used to be. And you can see the graph has gone down and moving up again, but they're trying to make things happen so that there's a separation between owner-occupied investment. And what they did was the big thing that they did is, the way it used to be is any new loan that you're applying for, the bank would assess you as if the interest rates were about 7.5%. But then any loan that you had that was with another bank, they would just take its actual repayment. Now what they've now done is they've said all loans that you've got, we're going to assess it at 7.5%, and that has significantly changed people's borrowing capacities. So what I want to give you is an example. And in this example, I want to talk about Kevin and Sandra, who are obviously an example, but Kevin earns $160,000, Sandra earns $50,000. They've got two kids, 12 and 9, and they've got an owner-occupied property and a number of investment properties. So we've got 4 investment properties. They're all at interest-only repayments. We can see the monthly repayments that each of the loan has, and their owner-occupied properties P&I, and we can see the monthly repayments there. Now what these guys want to do is they want to buy another investment property. They've saved some money. They want to buy an investment property for $450, and they want a loan against that of $360. So let's take a look at how a couple of different banks might view this. Now the first letter that I want to take you through is St. George. Okay, now what I've done is just pre-populate all the data for you. So we've got Kevin and Sandra, we've got it's going to be an investment, we've got the investment property for $360, they're going to go for a P&I loan, we've got their income of $160 and $50, they each earn rental income from their 4 properties, and there's going to be rental income from the 5th property. And this is what we have to do now moving forward. So for every loan that you have, what the banks do is they make you put in a loan, but then they make you put in the remaining term and how long to go with interest only or P&I. And then they assess all those loans at 7.5%. So I've added in all the loans here, as you can see. We also have to enter in their living expenses here, which I've put in, and let's just see what the calculator says. So the St. George calculator says, look, you can only afford a loan of $38,000, so it's not going to service, it ain't going to work with St. George. Now I want to take you through to a different lender, Pepper, to see how they would look at it. Okay, so here is the Pepper serviceability calculator. And Pepper are one of a number of different banks who are not governed by APRA because they're not deposit-taking institutions. And therefore, what Pepper can do is look at your situation the way it used to be done before the banks implemented their changes in 2014, which means what they do is you enter in the new loan that you want to have. They're going to assess it at 7.59%. But then you enter in all the other loans that you've got at the actual repayment. They don't load it to 7.5%. So we add in the income, we add in the same rental income, they take into consideration deductibility, and look at this. It services, it's got a net servicing ratio of 1.2%. So in fact, it actually services quite easily with Pepper. So the big takeaway I want you to get from today's presentation is that there are a whole bunch of lenders out there who view things very, very differently. So if you ever wanted a second opinion about your home loan and your borrowing capacity, please get in contact with me. My contact details are there. Visit our website multipartfinance.com.au, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you soon.